March 4th, 2021, 2:47 a.m., Seoul, South Korea. The city never truly sleeps. From 40 floors above street level, the lights stretch in every direction, like a living circuit board. Millions of signals, millions of movements, millions of lives, bleeding data into the air without a single person noticing. On this particular night, in a server room buried inside a glass tower in the Mapo district, a cursor blinked twice. Then a folder was opened that was never meant to be found. His name does not matter yet. What matters is what he saw. Row after row of data packets. Not communications intercepts, not financial records, not the usual architecture of government surveillance. Something far more granular. Movement data, biometric tags, facial recognition logs, tied not to criminal suspects, not to known threats, but to ordinary people. Teachers, journalists, a retired civil engineer who walked the same park route every morning at 6, a university student who attended 3 political lectures in 1 semester. People who had done nothing. People who did not know they were being watched. People who had no idea that for the past 4 years, every step they took in public had been logged, time-stamped, and filed inside a system that had no official name, no public mandate, and no legal authorization that anyone outside of 4 rooms in 2 buildings had ever signed. The system had an internal designation. Those who built it called it Veil. Those who ran it called it the infrastructure. Those who stumbled upon it, and there had been very few of those, were handled quietly, efficiently, and without public record. The architecture of Veil was not the work of a rogue actor or a criminal syndicate. It had been designed, funded, and deployed by a sanctioned intelligence contractor, operating under a classified addendum to a cybersecurity framework agreement that had been passed through committee in 17 minutes, with no public debate and no dissenting vote recorded. It was, in every bureaucratic sense of the word, legal, and that was the most terrifying thing about it. The man who built Veil had spent 31 years moving through the corridors of signals intelligence. He had worked under 4 administrations, survived 3 agency restructurings, and outlasted every director who had ever tried to clip his budget. He did not think of himself as dangerous. He thought of himself as necessary. The network he designed was not, in his view, a surveillance apparatus. It was a prediction engine. Feed it enough data, granular enough, consistent enough, deep enough, and it could identify instability before instability became action. It could flag dissent before dissent became organization. It could, in theory, prevent things from happening. The fact that it could also be used to control, to suppress, to map every human being in a city as a node in a threat assessment grid. That was a feature, not a flaw. He had written that exact sentence in an internal memo in 2018. Nobody had objected.
The whistleblower copied 7 files onto a drive the size of a thumb. His hands were steady. His breathing was not. He had spent 11 days building to this moment, cross-referencing access logs, pulling thread after thread until the shape of the thing became undeniable. He was not a dissident. He was not an activist. He was a 29-year-old network auditor who had been hired to look for inefficiencies in data routing, and had instead found the skeleton of a machine designed to swallow an entire city's freedom, 1 data point at a time. He did not know who to tell. He did not know if telling anyone would make a difference. He only knew that he had seen it, and that seeing it made ignorance impossible. He closed the folder. He removed the drive. He walked to the elevator, badged out at the lobby, and stepped into the Seoul night. Above him, 40 floors up, a secondary logging system, one he had not found, one he did not know existed, had already flagged his access pattern. By the time he reached the subway entrance on Mapodero, a notification had been sent to a secure terminal in a building he had never visited, in a city 2,000 miles away. The machine had already seen him. The ghost network was already watching. What happened next would take 18 months, 3 countries, and the quiet courage of people who understood that the most dangerous thing a system like Veil could do was not to act, but to wait.